Welcome back to Immaculate Grid with Kexplanations. Me, Chris Keck, explaining or Kexplaining things that I find interesting about baseball through the Immaculate Grid. We're going to do a quick one today. Sorry it's been so long to anyone that's actually watched my first few. I've been working on my leagues videos. I have a fantasy league that I'm in that I'm very fond of. Been in there for 12 years out of the 14 the league has existed, and just a lot going on with that, and I didn't have time for this, but this had been a great starting point for me to get going. Let's jump back in. Kansas City Royals and Cincinnati Red player. Oh boy. All right. Moustakas, that's out the gate quick. I mean, Moustakas is an easy one. Will be the most owned, I believe. We can do better than that. We can do better than that. We're not gonna jump on this one yet because we have our safety net in Moustakas. James Shields, I believe, will be the most owned, just because it's the first one that came to mind. But he could also go White Sox and Kansas City as well. Let's find something a little more fun there. Kansas City and Tampa Bay. Somebody that played for both of those teams, obviously. Kansas City and White Sox. This one's easy because I don't even care that it's going to be highly owned. I just want to put this guy's name down because he's going to be one of the three to see. 21% owned. What a career. And when I mean career, you know what I mean. He didn't have a long career in either sport, but he had 2 careers. So can't you just count that as a full career if he had 2 half careers? As far as 100 RBI Cincinnati Red guy, you want to always put something more interesting when you're putting it on the channel. This isn't about rarity. It's about coolness. Cool Cincinnati Red with 100 RBIs. Let's put the great one, Johnny Bench. 11% owned. I'm not worried about that. Johnny Bench is one of the greatest players and might be the greatest catcher of all time. 100 RBI season for a Tampa Bay Ray. Evan Longoria immediately comes to mind. I wonder if Carlos Pena pulled it off. Let's check it out. I think he did. That's what I'm talking about. He had a huge year that year. 40-something home runs, I think, that he did it. I think he may have only had 100 RBI one time. If I'm right, I swear I'm not cheating. Chicago White Sox. 100 RBI White Sox. All right. I'm going to put down Harold Baines. And if this man never had a 100 RBI season, I'm going to debate that he should not be in the Hall of Fame. He better. I don't think this is going to go well for me. He did 2%er. We were all skeptical, apparently. Maybe you are a Hall of Famer, Harold Baines. 30 stolen base season. You know I'm tempted to put it, and I think he did it, which will be almost a tic-tac-toe move. Dion? I think he had 35 one year. We'll take it. We will take it. Doesn't mean this is an easy out, but dang do I like having Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders on the same Immaculate Grid. Yeah. All right, so Tampa Bay, 30 stolen base season. All right. Carl Crawford, BJ Upton. Wonder how many we can name. Probably not enough. Not enough to feel confident about being able to brag about it. I think Crawford and Upton will be the tops. Let's go with Upton. I think he had 52 one year. That's a 15%er. Crawford should be most owned, I believe. We'll check in on that one. A white sock with a 30 stolen base season. Can we find a football player? Wouldn't that be cool? Like Brian Jordan could sit here or something. I'm looking for it now. Like, can it happen? Is there something I could do? Michael Jordan almost wanted to be there. Like I think if Michael Jordan would have actually made it to the big leagues, he would have had 30 stolen bases in a season. It would have been one of the things he would have just been super good at because he was quick and fast and obviously one of the greatest athletes of all time, just like these two guys. These guys weren't bad either, but Bo and Dion. I want to go outside the box. I think Luke Appling will apply. Uh, do we want to hit this button here? Because we've got a perfect grid going. We could go safer with like an Ozzie Guillen, a Juan Pierre. That would be super safe. Super high owned. Don't care. Want it to be interesting. Appling is interesting. Damn it! Oh well, he'll still be one of the three to see, so let it be. Kansas City, Cincinnati. I know I'm going to be wanting to look at Harold Baines' stats a little bit. Bo Jackson's. Who do we want to see? I don't. I'm not going to look into Mike Moustakas' stats that much. Johnny Cueto would work here. I'm not looking into that. Yes, sorting through the brain here. Is it time to go for rarity? We're going for rarity. I don't know why I think this is going to work. It didn't. That was dumb. All right, stop being silly. Let's just put Jamie Shields and end this thing. Oh, it's James Shields. Sorry. He was Jamie Shields at one point. All right. Predictions. Moustakas here. Griffey here. Larkin. Crawford. Longoria. Shields. Bo. Frank Thomas. Juan Pierre. Most owned. Juan Pierre, do I want to go with that one? We'll stick with it. We'll finish the job here with what we believe will be the highest owned. I don't know why I keep hitting M's instead of J's. James Shields. Chapman. Okay. Votto. Billy Hamilton. I'm way off today. Crawford, I got that. Longoria, got that. Totally believed in Shields. Forgot about the Zobes. Benintendi. Tied with Bo, I believe, at 21%. Frank Thomas, correct. Podsednik. Scott Podsednik. Oh. Well, let's quickly get to the three to see. Luke Appling is one that I want to go ahead and get to because I just want to bring him up, and he's not on the grid. I missed that one. He is indeed a Hall of Famer. I indeed have his autograph and met him when he was quite old in the late 80s when I was a kid, and that would have meant, how old would he have been then? Yeah, he was in his 70s. What's interesting about him? What made him a Hall of Famer? That's what I want to know. All right, at age 36, MVP 2. Continued playing into his age 43 season and kept getting MVP votes. I mean, this guy was well respected apparently. 45 career home runs in 20 years, 310 career average, 2,749 hits. What was so special about him? I think it's the fact he was a shortstop back in the day, and just like we do now, shortstops, their defense is valued a lot. And I bet his defense was off the charts. 128 RBI season, 388 average. At the age of 29, that was his MVP 2 season. That was another MVP 2 season. Okay. I'm seeing the value here. He didn't have to hit home runs to be a valuable part of the team then. He just made things happen. Luke Appling, first of the three to see. Next, I'm going straight to Bo. My eyes are just going there. You know we want to talk about the football stats because he was a cheat code, literally on a video game. But you know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Family Guy did the whole thing and stuff too, so a lot of people know about it anyway. Um, Bo led the league in strikeouts, and you got to get at bats to strike out. 32 bombs, 100 RBI season. Ooh, at age 26 with 26 stolen bases, 86 runs. You know this guy would have been a fantasy icon. People would have been drafting him top 5 overall in both drafts. Imagine in your fantasy football and fantasy baseball draft, you took Bo top 5 overall in the same year. He had a very strange career and was white hot fire to the world for a minute, and injuries got to him. One injury in particular broke his hip, something like that. Didn't even know it. It caused himself or all sorts of future problems because he was so strong. He didn't realize he messed himself up pretty freaking badly. What an athlete. To Bo Jackson in my personal Hall of Fame, which is just it's the Hall of Fame, the greatest athlete of all time, if you ask me. Which some people will argue it was Deion Sanders. Was his baseball career as good as Bo Jackson's? It depends on what you look at. 38 stolen bases. He led the league in triples one year. Bo led the league in strikeouts. Now, yes, he led the league in caught stealing as well, but 263 career hitter, 319 on base percentage, stole 186 bases in the major freaking leagues. Like, this is a man that could do it. His per 162 game average, 10 home runs, 47 stolen bases, 78 runs scored, which is the name of the game. Underrated. Underrated baseball player. Not an underrated football player. Hall of Fame football player. If you want to argue Deion or Bo, I'm not mad at you on either side. And with that said, that is our three to see. That was an intense one. It's intense when you've got guys like Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders around in here. I'll get back to you, Harold Baines, and your strange Hall of Fame ways. I don't know how you got in there, but I'm gonna figure it out.